I'm Dusty Byron. I am a graduate of the class of 2011 from Country Day, and now in the class of 2015 here at Bowdoin. I had kind of an interesting story with Country Day. I went for 7th and 8th grade, left, moved to Chicago for a couple of years, and then came back and did my last 2.5 years of high school at Country Day. Academically, I felt entirely prepared. I was ready to go. Obviously, there are going to be college courses that are more challenging than high school. That's the point of coming. But in terms of the preparation and knowing what I needed to know coming in, I felt absolutely ready and comfortable in the classroom setting. Well, in terms of my first assessment, 2 years later, I honestly can't tell you what it is. But I think that in itself is telling. It was no traumatic experience. It wasn't anything terrible. I certainly didn't do too badly on it. I would have remembered that. But at the same time, it just kind of blended right in and felt like a pretty smooth transition. I, in fact, did have a freshman seminar. I was in a seminar called Great Issues in Science, which really focused a lot on the philosophy of science. So it was a bit different maybe than your typical freshman seminar that you'd expect. However, it was a really writing-intensive course. We read the likes of Kuhn and then even Vonnegut, so there was definitely some literature involved. And so I definitely felt prepared writing. I did very well, and I felt like even at a school like Bowdoin, where pretty much everybody is prepared coming in, I felt like my writing was at a level maybe even higher than some of my peers at least. I felt very prepared and very comparable with my peers here at Bowdoin immediately, both in the classroom and outside of it. Specifically, academically, there are a wide range of students at Bowdoin that came from varying backgrounds, but there are a lot of kids here from places like Deerfield and Exeter and the universally known great high schools, and I felt just as prepared and just as academically able as the kids that I met coming from places like that, which gave me a lot of faith in Country Day and the curriculum that Country Day had to prepare me in a way that I could be comparable and in sometimes not exceed, but also sometimes exceed students from schools that are known to have some of the best curricula in the world. Outside of the classroom, I felt like I fit in immediately. Country Day was a place of talented people, and it's very much the same way here. Everybody here is very accomplished, and the fact that Country Day gave me the opportunities to have some of the accomplishments that I did allowed me to really fit in and really feel part of it and not really feel behind. I think that in terms of the classroom dynamic here at Bowdoin compared to Country Day, it's a little bit different, and it varies class to class. At Country Day, each class was very personal. You got to know your teacher very well, just based on the size. Here at Bowdoin, we do have lectures of 50 people, where that doesn't happen quite as much. However, I do feel comfortable speaking up in class, asking questions, things like that. And on top of that, what I think is even more important is how comfortable I feel going to see a professor in their office hours, which I really think stems from the personal relationships that I built with the teachers at Country Day, just in the sense that their doors are always open, they're always welcoming, and you can go talk to them about the baseball game last night, or something maybe a little more challenging, personally or academically. And that prepared me well to interact with the professors here. Back at Country Day, I was a two-sport athlete, captain of the soccer team and basketball team my senior years. I was the leader of a club called Free the Children Club, which worked to raise money to help build a school for children in Sri Lanka. Did some other things, did some peer mentoring. Amongst other things, and I've really continued all of that here at Bowdoin. Athletically, I've been subjected to reel it back in a little bit due to some injuries and whatnot, but I am on the golf team here at Bowdoin, and that has been one of the most rewarding experiences here for sure. Being able to continue that team aspect and hopefully become a leader, of an official leader of that team as well in the future. I also continue to be a peer mentor. I mentor a local fifth grader here up in Brunswick, and look forward to doing that every single week. So those experiences at Country Day absolutely prepared me to and motivated me to continue to do some of the community outreach and then also the athletic endeavors that I continue to pursue. You know, I think that a lot of people think that Country Day shelters its students, and I don't think that that is an untrue statement. However, I think that people maybe take an improper definition of the word sheltered. I think that the way Country Day shelters its students is by surrounding them by only other talented individuals. It's not easy to gain admission to Country Day. And so at a public school where you get a broad range of students academically and socially, there are certain requirements to meet at Country Day. And so in the sense that, no, I don't feel like I was exposed to everything at Country Day. But I think the biggest advantage to that is being surrounded by talented people constantly that push you and strive, and then makes you strive to be better, rather than just having to rise above the status quo. You're trying to meet the status quo. Oh, absolutely. Bowdoin, I'm so happy I came. It is one of one of my favorite places I've ever been, and I get to be here for 4 years, which is fantastic. I'm working up here this summer for a reason. I absolutely love it. The people here are great. And it really is an embodiment of what Country Day was all about, and just an extension of that. It's just a lot of great people that like to have fun, don't take themselves too seriously, but at the same time, when they do go after something, go after it hard and do it to their best of their ability. So in terms of the college selection process at Country Day, I obviously have to give a lot of credit to Mrs. Campbell and her work. I think one of the best parts about that process was the fact that she knew exactly how hands-on to be. She let the process be quite independent and let me do my own thinking and discovering, while also guiding me, providing me some suggestions, and being there if I needed her. She knew the type of schools I wanted to go to, and the fact that my class was so small, she really did get to know each of us individually. And while of course I didn't see the recommendation that she wrote, it was comforting knowing that your college guidance officer is going to write you a recommendation, really knowing who you are and what you do, as opposed to a lot of my friends who had to have their college guidance officers write them recommendations 5 minutes after they'd met them for the first time. So I'm up here at Bowdoin this summer doing chemistry research, working in an organic chemistry lab, specifically with organometallic chemistry, using cobalt compounds to synthesize a catalyst that eventually will make it easier and cheaper and more efficient to make soap and shampoo and synthetic oils is basically what it comes down to. But more than that, it's just about getting the lab experience, getting that hands-on experience, knowing how to work in a lab, so that hopefully after Bowdoin, as I'm trying to gain some experience, possibly for medical school, I'll have a bit of an upper leg going in. And then as my research continues to progress, obviously I do have the goal of getting published here in the next year, which would be a great accomplishment. And the fact that I am able to start this research between my sophomore and junior year as opposed to a year later is really a testament to the courses and the level that I could get to at Country Day to allow me to advance a little further than normal here at Bowdoin, so that I could get on that track a little bit faster. Beyond that, I'm up here just enjoying the everything the wilderness here has to offer, and being 5 minutes from the coast is pretty special up here in Brunswick, and working on my golf game for the upcoming season. That's about what my summer has been so far. Basically, my plan after college is to go to medical school. I'm not entirely sure where. Basically, wherever they'll take me is what it comes down to. It's obviously such a difficult application process. In the immediate future, probably take a few years off and just gain even more lab experience. And as I work to apply and make myself a more desirable candidate for medical school. Beyond that, I'm not really sure, but I'm perfectly comfortable not knowing much more beyond that and just seeing that as the future goal.